Okay, so in this module, we went through and talked about pen testing with social engineering attacks. We talked about its purpose, that we're actually testing how strong the weakest link could possibly be in your network, which is the human factor. We also mentioned that it's great for trying to raise a level of awareness for your users. And we also talked about you have to be extremely careful. You might actually extrapolate more information than you should be allowed to do, and you want to make sure that you stay out of personal information on the pen test. We also talked about what it takes to actually pull off a good social engineering pen test. We talked about interpersonal skills, communication skills, friendly, talkative, being creative, as well as fast on your feet. And of course, the most important one is your confidence. What's the statement I once heard? Knowledge builds confidence and confidence sells the product. In this case here, my product is my story. We also then went through and talked about the different steps that we implement through social engineer pen testing. We talked about going through that reconnaissance stage. Again, folks, I got to really warn you here, make sure that you have permission to do these types of attacks. We talked about how you need to come up with your own scenario, your own cover story, as you will, and make sure that you kind of rehearse it so that you can respond no matter what people ask you. We then went through and talked about the different types of attacks that could be implemented through social engineering. And then, of course, as always, we make sure that we document everything along the way during this portion of the pen test. So now that we've implemented this pen testing technique, next up we'll look at doing DOS and DDoS attacks.